All right, it's 7:30 on June 3rd. Opening Conservation Commission meeting. Just going through some of the mail that's going to save for next week for Sandy. Doesn't seem to be any new sites coming in. 8 Marble Street doesn't seem to be a Whitman Conservation Commission site, so please skip on that one. First thing, we were just reviewing the minutes for April 15th. There's a question about it.
Yep, so it's more of a process. In a lot of our minutes, we have action items, and I'm curious what the process is to close out those action items with follow-up. So how do we make sure that we're...
Like, what action items are on the 15th?
So there's one...
give an example.
An example would have been like, I asked about training up at the middle school, and they mentioned that there's a training plan and they would send it. They did send it after the meeting. That's an example. Another one is...
Oh, follow-up on sites.
Follow up on actions out here.
Okay.
So sometimes they're assigned to us, like the other one was, which is one of the things I want to talk about, the New World, and following up with a draft letter to Mass Bay. That was an action in here, wasn't necessarily assigned to anyone, but sometimes in the minutes we have open issues that need to be addressed. How do we make sure that we're going back to close them to make sure that we actually address them? And I'm not suggesting that we need to solve it tonight, but we need to think about it. Because somebody could ask, hey, you had an action to do X, Y, Z, did you do it? And where's that document?
No, it's a good point. We should probably do a quick blurb to talk to Sandy next meeting, but maybe review open items from the last minutes and make sure in the minutes there's, on the bottom part, there's open items.
Yeah, and one of the suggestion that what I've done, at least for meetings in my professional career, is if there were action items, I would label them, and maybe in the minutes we can do that. They would say action and bold it. So now it's clear, you don't have to read.
And responsibility, if there's a responsible part.
Yeah. Or even a table at the end to say.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, just to build it into our agenda at the end, just be like, are there action items? Who's doing what?
Right.
And then,
that way, at the beginning of the meeting, when we go through these,
That's a good point.
we can close them out and we know that they've been taken care of.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Why don't we talk with Sandy about getting the process together? And I think that's good. That's a good point.
Okay. So one of the actions out of this, and I don't know if you want me to ask now because we're doing the minutes.
Sure. Yeah.
If you want to wait for new business.
No, I would do that now. I mean, we're in kind of the business of the public part now.
So one of the actions in this one was the Mass Bay, the letter for the violations for cutting the trees up New World. I drafted up a letter. Erica did a great job revising it, and it went out, but I never saw a response. I sent an email and said, hey, whatever happened to the letter? And I didn't hear back. So do we know? Erica, do you happen to know? Did it get mailed out? So I really think we need to get that letter out right away.
I think I believe Sandy did send it out, but we should double check with her.
Yeah, if it hasn't, then they should be requested to, come in here and justify.
That could be our first open item.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a good point. Yeah, there's no follow up. If you request a letter, we should respond.
Yeah, and if it was identified actions when we look at it, now we should take a minute and go through. Okay, did you do it? Did you do it?
Yep.
No, you didn't. Okay, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
It's holding it up. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Yep.
Okay. That was it. I'm glad I did it.
All right.
But I do want to talk about New World as well.
I don't think there's any update on New World either. I haven't seen anything come through. We didn't talk about it last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think we did. I haven't seen any new plantings there other than just overgrown.
There's nothing.
Wildness coming up.
Do you want to talk about it now? So I had asked about follow up with New World, and Sandy told me to give it a little bit more time.
Yeah.
It's been a significant amount of time.
At least a month.
It's a mess still. And I actually heard through the grapevine that they took down trees and block the brook. So they've moved some stuff, but they haven't done any plantings. And to me, that's just rubbing it sort of in our face a little bit. That you came here, you said you'd mitigate. You need to mitigate. And if you're not sure how to mitigate, we can help you mitigate. So I would like to go and meet with the owner and help them and find out what's going on, what's stalling the process. We also talked about having it done sooner because it was spring. And it's a good time for planting.
Yeah, no,
So we don't want him to miss the opportunity, and I know you can tell he has a good heart. He wants to do what's right.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't know what needs to get done, and he needs a little bit of guidance, and I'm willing to help.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
No, just to add some information, Sandy had mentioned to me in an unrelated conversation, or maybe kind of tangentially related conversation about there is a nursery, a specialty nursery, I think it's in Plymouth. They specialize in wetland plants.
Good.
So I think she had received information about it. She was going to get more information just for us to have on hand in situations like this. So I would recommend checking with her or doing your own research about that, because that could be a resource for
Google,
whoever
for
it is. Because I don't think our local places, like Wyman's or Sion's, I don't think they specialize necessarily, but
Yeah.
this place she was talking about seems they have some expertise.
It
So
is in Plymouth.
I think so, but she would know.
Okay.
Maybe blast
Yeah,
them a text before you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm planning to go to New World just to check in with them to see what
Yeah,
their
yeah.
schedule
Can
is.
you, Erica, can you send me, I forget the gentleman's name that came in. Can you send me his contact info?
Yeah, got it tomorrow.
Yeah. And then,
Probably in the minutes from the
Probably,
Airport.
and I
maybe, but like his phone number,
Yeah.
and just set something up to come go see him. And don't worry, I'll be nice and calm.
No, that's good.
I just want to see it done.
I would just update the group when you're thinking about going out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And
Excellent.
I would imagine it's probably within his rights too. You know, any costs, he could probably go back to Mass Bay. You know what I mean? It's up to him to figure that
It
out.
depends what agreement they have.
That's
Whatever he
what I
signs on the
know.
dotted line.
Yeah.
It's up to
They
him,
might have no damages, no responsibilities,
maybe. Yeah,
You're responsible for local permits, that type of thing.
right, right.
Well, that's my guess.
Yeah.
They're a big company. But good point. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
awesome. All right. So any other, so we're talking about the minutes on April 15th. Any other questions about the minutes on April 15th?
No.
I'm okay with them.
No.
You're okay?
Good to go.
We have a motion
Yes.
to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Minutes from April 15th are approved. All right, that's her. The next one is the minutes on May 20th. We might have to,
You can vote even if you weren't here. Robert's rules.
excellent. We can, I don't have any edits on it. Would you want to look at it before you just give a minute or two? Oh, this is last stuff.
Quick question. About Pete Hole off of Pine Street. It says, a newly constructed house not on conservation land has eliminated informal public access to the water body. Although a future trail connection to Strawberry Valley Golf Course is possible, the project is not fiscally feasible at this time. So it's not eliminated. It's still a right of way.
Right.
And I actually talked to the assessors and they might actually put that on, they think it should go on the map.
Okay.
So it's not eliminated, it's still there. Just
Okay,
nobody,
yeah.
nobody knows they're going through the guy's lawn. So
Yeah.
Is the Quonset hut on conservation land next to it, or is that private property?
I can't remember what the.
You know, like,
Yeah, I do know exactly what you
the
mean.
tax- I
Yeah.
can't remember the tax.
I have no idea.
okay.
I don't know.
Because that would be the way in, or you can find a way back.
Well,
there.
we did wander around in there a bit,
It's
but
very
yes, it was, and it
Yeah.
wasn't convenient. So, I mean, for purposes of that project, we're like, it's probably not fiscally responsible to like cut a new trail.
And
to-
Strawberry Valley is public because Edmonton owns it, so
Okay.
that way it would be.
Yeah, yeah.
It's better off just to leave the woods,
I would say so.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's still just.
You want to just tweak the language on that?
As long as,
I'd wait till they change the map and then maybe we do it.
I mean, the map, if it says right of way, public access, I think we're okay anyways, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
just so there's a clarification on the minutes, that
Okay.
it's, the right of way is still there.
Okay.
And we said you just have to ask people to mow your lawn when you walk. I think he was happy about that, but whatever, you know,
All right.
I'm good.
So we're gonna edit it, or we're gonna submit it as is?
What do you want to do? It's up to you.
You do, you can, as amended.
Okay. Yeah, so we can approve it with
With the amendment?
modification.
Okay. All right.
That works.
All right. Then so we should vote on May 20th, 2025 minutes. I have a motion.
So I'll make a motion to approve it with the modification we just discussed.
Excellent.
And I can vote seconded.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
Right.
Excellent. Payroll ending 5/31/2025. Any questions, concerns? All right. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Next thing, 131 Franklin Street.
All
So
right.
we did, there was a text chain going back and forth and some viewing of Mass.js maps, wetland maps, and then Leanne was able to do a site visit. Thank you very much. Sorry about
Yeah, no
leaving
worries.
in the lurch.
No, no, it wasn't.
Our car is in the shop, so.
Wow.
Do you want to see
Sure,
what we had the
yeah.
conversations with?
Sure, yep, just going back to my email. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so I visited 131 Franklin Street on May 30th and met with the owner, Alan. So he had reached out originally to the Conservation Commission because there is a large amount of water coming over into his yard from his neighbor's yard. So going out there, there is a sump pump at the neighbor's house at 141 Franklin Street, right next door. There is a pipe buried that is directing the flow of water into Alan's yard. I think it's just because I know we're at normal rainfall, but it seems like we have a lot. So it's just, he's noticing it this year. And I guess there were modifications made to that pipe fairly recently. So it's coming straight across.
So it's buried all the way and it pops
Yeah,
up
so
around?
here I can show,
So do you see it come through the basement wall?
yep.
So it's above grade,
And then goes.
coming and then goes down.
Sorry. So this is the corner of this is so small, but this is 141 Franklin
Oh, yeah,
Street.
you can-
I'm
you can
standing
tell that.
behind his fence, okay?
You can tell the
So
dirt.
Oh,
then,
yeah.
there it is.
Perfect.
Comes out, and then you can follow the path buried all the way here.
Yeah.
It comes all the way to the fence. Now, in between the property, so there's a chain link fence that belongs to 141. There's like a little strip of no man's land, and then Alan
Between the
does.
fences?
Yes, and then he has a wooden like privacy fence starting on the other side. So we're standing in the no man's land looking over. But because the water is just so much, it's like
Where was it discharging prior to that work?
he's not sure because he just never noticed it before. So this is like this has been going on for a couple of months now. And it's just because of the rainfall. I think just the weather conditions. So he did try to talk with his neighbor about this. He and his wife went over there. It turns out the neighbor is elderly or disabled and not able to speak with them, but he did speak with a caregiver who was there and provided his contact information. This was a while ago. They've not had any luck connecting. So Alan himself is, it seems like, willing and able to help move the pipe. So what he said to me was if he were to do it, he would direct it towards the back of the property. So the consideration here is the wetlands on those two properties on Franklin Street. It's right there. As you said in the text chain, the house is like 100, it's the buffer zone is right there.
Yeah.
The house is on the edge of it.
Yeah.
So if they were to turn the pipe to go back, it would be discharging into the buffer zone and probably down into the wetlands.
Under the grass, onto like previously disturbed areas. Okay.
Yeah, so
Improved
yeah,
areas.
it's
Okay.
yeah, so
Alright.
which so that was just something to consider because I just wanted to talk about that just in case the neighbor's family does get in contact with Alan like tomorrow or something and they go ahead. That is, it seems like his plan should they be able to move ahead. But as it is, as far as I know, they've not made any contact. So he was reaching out just looking for some support to see if there was anything officially wrong, quote unquote, with the setup, if there's any regulations about sump pump, anything.
I would really be surprised if there's something that's in rebuilding codes.
I couldn't find anything. I was trying to look on the town
The
website.
only thing you would find is that you can't discharge to the sanitary sewer. That's why you can't just kind of loop in to a trap in your basement going to the sewer.
Right.
That's against the rules.
And that's at the state level, I think. Yeah.
It's not
Right. Yeah.
like local level, it's the state level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they ran all the way into the woods, into the wetland, I think we would have a problem with that.
Okay.
But if they just direct it toward the back of the property where the grade's probably going down, but it's on grass or something that's previously disturbed, improved, I would say that would be fine.
Did you talk to 141?
No, just there did not appear to be anyone at home. And then again, where Alan tried to meet with them, and I didn't want to create any type of confusion,
The only issue, I'm sorry,
The outfall from the pipe that's there, is it just level to the ground? Is it popped out of the ground? Is there a French drain? Is there
little stone so it doesn't wash away the grass. I don't know how they do it.
No, it seems like just the sump pump, the pipe coming out of the basement, then it hooks right up to whatever this pipe is and just comes down under the grass. So
Did
there's
you see the end of the pipe?
I know I couldn't get over there. I mean, I can zoom that photo or do you mean over toward Alan's property?
Yeah.
Or, yes,
Well,
yeah, we could
Alan's
see the
property.
end of it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
could see the.
Was it dirt or was it just into the grass?
It's into the grass.
No, there's no big stones there, so it doesn't erode.
Oh no,
Okay.
no. It's just because there's
And
I have a
was it
photo.
flooded? Was it muddy?
Yeah. So here, let me get the other picture back. Hold on.
I wonder where it went before.
I don't know.
The only
Although I think Alan, he may have moved in fairly recently. I don't remember.
his neighbor.
So here's where the end of the pipe is, and that's where we're getting this. It starts to flood there.
Oh, so there's a little trench there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see the pipe?
Yeah. Hold on. I had another view, I think.
And then the water's just accumulating on the surface.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's going down under his fence. I don't have a good photo of it.
Is that
Something
Allen's fence or the?
The chain link is 141. His is a wooden fence.
And how much space is in between?
Like through
3 feet.
yeah, 3 feet, I think. Yeah. He had texted me some photos too.
Do we know who owns that 3-foot property?
I think it's probably where their property line is. I don't. When we looked at the map,
Instead of directing it into the,
Yeah. But
Why
it's
not
coming
just
under the
do a
wooden
little-
fence.
why not just do a little front?
yeah. So these are the photos Alan sent me.
dig a hole.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the soils are like. I'm just gonna take it. I would,
Um,
maybe I would suggest it to him.
this is because I mean
We
here he
would
sent
do
me
it.
this. It's like coming under the wooden fence.
Yeah.
Oops.
All the water.
Yeah. So
So
this
that-
is what he sent me.
I think
You know what I mean?
saturated. Oh yeah, I mean, we could suggest it to them. They want to do that.
It's probably a lot cheaper than removing the pipe, redirecting the pipe, and then
I think you're just gonna bang a 90 on it and just run it down on top of the lawn and just get it done.
from the end. You think you
Yeah,
could?
that's what I would say.
Yeah, the thing is, he just can't do anything without his neighbor's permission.
Yeah, I would say that.
So that's just the hold up here. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
What if the guy says no?
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
I think that then you need to talk about the French drain. And he could put an elbow at 90 degree, shooting down in, and dig up that area and, put in stone.
His neighbor.
The neighbor.
His neighbor, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, because his neighbor might be like, yeah, no, I'm not running the pipe down.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, yeah. It's just tough because the neighbor doesn't seem to be able to engage in this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But he does have family, I guess. It's
So the current situation as it is it within conservation
yeah,
jurisdiction?
that's the question. I don't think it is.
I don't think it would be. I mean, you're in the buffer zone, but you're in a grassed area. It's not like you're in the.
If it's in the buffer zone, though, it is a conservation. So we could, why I'm asking that
Right.
is, could we try to have a
Approach the
conversation
neighbor,
with
yeah.
the neighbor
Yeah,
and say,
exactly.
we do have a problem.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
here's some solutions to the problem. We do need you to have
Yeah,
you
we have
address
to look at the CMR 10, 310 CMR 10 because it might have this might just be a minor activity,
Yeah.
which is exempt from that rule. So we would have nothing at that point.
I mean,
Because they're not filling, they're not digging, they're not altering,
yeah.
and it's already grass area. I think they might have a way that say, no, you guys don't have anything to say. It's mainly a property dispute because he's putting water in the other guy's property. That's,
My thought isn't necessarily to go in with the badge and say, you gotta fix it.
No,
It's
that's
more
right.
about,
Just
if
help
he
them
can't
back.
talk to, if
Right,
he's not
yeah.
able to.
That's what they
maybe
might
because-
respond to us.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
same
That's
thought,
more-
same thought. Yeah, it's just a matter of, when I was there, it just remains unclear to me whether it's anything we have official jurisdiction over. So yeah.
And I'm not suggesting that we're here to solve everyone's problems either. you
That's
know
what,
I mean?
of course, but it's a little bit of a gray area just because
Little bit.
there are wetlands, it's like, I know Sandy has suggested at one point about involving the Board of Health, but I just am not really sure how they could help. But again, I don't know too much about the Board of Health.
They get into they're the approving authority for septic systems and injection systems and that type of thing underground. So if you do dig a French drain, you're discharging water into a French drain. It might be considered an underground injection well.
Yeah.
So that would be a Board of Health thing. But if it was a buffer zone that they were digging it, then they might have to seek approval from us. They're digging a buffer zone.
Yeah, and more than likely it's just gray water, but I know when we bought
I
the
think
house.
you don't think it's groundwater? If it's gray water, that'd be a whole different area.
I mean, groundwater.
Okay, all right.
Just
Yeah,
groundwater.
yeah, I think
When we bought our house,
I know,
our washing
yeah,
machine
yeah.
was connected, it was pumped
Yeah.
out back.
Yeah.
I did.
great.
So-
I asked Alan. I was like, when do you notice? And he was like, it's really almost continuous nowadays, like between
Before
rain
rain.
events, like during rain events and after. I did bring up, I know about the washer thing at different houses, and he's like, no, it doesn't seem like that at all. He seemed familiar, and he didn't really have concerns about the quality of the water. It's just the volume of the water.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess my thought was if we have them redirected to the wetlands,
Mm-hmm.
what if he sells toward the
Toward the back.
Toward.
I wouldn't go all the way to the wetlands. You can't go all the way.
Yeah.
But what if he sells and somebody else moves in? Now they hook their washer up.
Right.
And now we're going, we may have just exacerbated an issue.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it does seem to be just some pump water.
I think it's pretty rare these days that
It is.
people hook up anything to hook sump pumps, right? Sump pumps are just below the floor. It might even be a dirt floor. I'm not sure how old that house is.
It's old. It's an old one. Yeah.
I hate
Do they have oil? We don't know if they have oil in the basement.
I couldn't tell.
That's the only thing I'm concerned about is that you pipe it 50 feet away and you ever have an issue, you'll never know it. It'll be pumping oil out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some pumps pump.
I mean, I came home to my cellar being.
Yeah, the worst-
we have two sump pumps on there.
Worst still ever had was
Yeah.
basement that was some pumping oil out of the wetland area. No one knew about it until it's too late.
And so I think that, to me, that would be the last solution, running it out
Just toward the back.
towards the back.
So.
A French drain would be, for me at least, would be more ideal.
Yeah, as long as it's subsoils can take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
All right.
But we haven't answered your question.
No, I know. It's just that we're
The
just
question
like,
is,
I guess would we feel comfortable approaching the neighbor as the Conservation Commission to discuss these type of things with them? I don't know.
We can always just say that we feel that you're in the buffer zone. We don't know for sure. We're just going off of an aerial photograph from a Mass DEP map. It's not an official map. They always
Right,
get
right,
it surveyed, and it's
Yeah.
and they can that 141 can take it upon themselves to map it out and figure out where the wetland flags are, and the buffer zone get Garvey involved or whatever. But we could approach them and just say, I don't think that's an issue.
Okay. All right.
So.
That's fine.
You signing up for that one?
Yep. Yeah. Maybe we bring. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll do to put my eyes on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do to a couple people
Yeah.
just to
Sure.
and just to be prepared. We know what Alan has his experience with the neighbor, so we can just have. Why don't we can bring something we can give to with our information, just in case. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it'd be good to have some literature on French training.
Yeah.
What it would look like, you know what I mean? Just as a suggestion, they probably know, you know what I mean? But,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we'll pick a time to go visit the neighbor, and I will let Alan know that we're gonna reach out to the neighbor.
yeah, no promises of a solution.
Right, that's what I'm gonna just be like, there's no issue within our jurisdiction here, but just due to the presence of the wetlands, we can reach out, so we'll give it a shot.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good neighbor.
Yeah, and he's certainly, he's very kind and he's trying to be very respectful of the neighbor, obviously, so, yeah,
Excellent. All right.
cool.
Does anyone else have anything other than what we talked about earlier? I think it's probably prudent to maybe just to go over to middle school and see, just take a look at things, how it goes. They have mountains of topsoil. It's enormous.
Really?
Yeah.
And it is. I think they're the biggest pilots I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, my son's been having his T-ball over there, and it's just, behind
It
those
is
fields,
Mount
it's
Everest up there.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they take a lot of material off site. They take a lot of stone on site. They actually poured the first footing 2 days ago. They're doing their first footing. So they're moving along, but it is a messy disaster over there. So
Do we
maybe we
want
gotta do it.
to go as a group? Do we want to
Well, I think we should set
split
up.
up and?
No, I think maybe we go the first time as a group, so we all kind of figure out what the baseline is, right? I think my guess is going to look the worst now. After when they get more into gravel and they get more into foundation, they'll be able to backfill stuff like that. It's going to look much more bad now because they pull all the topsoil out. So maybe we go now and see as a baseline what they got.
Yeah.
And then, look at their inspections, what they've been doing, because it's been raining quite, so they should have weekly inspections, they should have every rainstorm inspections, and they should have all
I
that.
think that was one of the things that we said we wanted to look at is look at their records.
Yeah. So I think maybe we just pick a time next week, see if anyone's available, and
Sure.
maybe we do have to try to hit working hours, because I think they
Okay.
are 7 to 3, I think that's what they are, 7 to 3.
Probably out of
Okay.
3:30.
So maybe if anyone's available, maybe at 2 o'clock, 2:30.
Depends on what day of the week.
Okay, what days are good? You're retired, so
I got news.
you got hired again? You got
Let me see. Well, next
Say
week,
the right day.
let's get the calendar here. Hold on.
Let me pull it up.
Things are happening. All right. So next week, I'm going to be working from home Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Nice.
I could. Friday might work.
All right, yeah, Friday.
Well, so
Not good for you?
Is that not
I
good?
did pick up a project.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll be in Ohio next week, but I'm going Tuesday, so Monday would work for me.
okay.
But I'll be back on Friday,
Monday,
afternoon, Friday evening.
Okay.
It's not a long project, 3 weeks. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Good.
Give up a
No,
project.
not really.
But
But
what-
it's good, but.
So, I'm not sure if I can do Monday.
Yeah, Monday's fine.
You do Monday?
Yeah, I can do Monday. Yeah.
At two?
I'll be at home. I'll just put it on my calendar as a meeting, and I'll go have a meeting at the middle school with you guys. All right.
Alright, I will
All right.
put into that then.
All right. cool. I'll do that. Do we want to look at the calendar for 141 Franklin too while we're in the calendar?
Yes, but we just put in middle school. We don't have any numbers for the neighbor, right?
No,
It's just gonna be
nothing, yeah.
a knockout
Are
door.
we Monday for the middle school, or what day are we?
Monday.
We are Monday.
Yep.
Yeah,
2 o'clock.
Monday, Monday, June 9th, 2 o'clock.
Look.
Friday?
This Friday? Or
This Friday, I'm in Western Mass, but next Friday,
next Friday? Yep, I can do that too.
What time Monday?
2 o'clock.
Okay, because we have our walk. No,
Oh.
that's Wednesday.
Okay, yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I can't do that. No more walking for me.
It'd be like 3 o'clock Friday?
Friday.
The 13th? Friday 13th.
Yeah, watch out. Yeah, maybe it's not a good idea.
I'm going to a neighbor's house on Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
There's a movie about that.
So, good. Alright, 6:13, 3 p.m.
Street.
It's probably going to be quick.
3 p.m. Yeah, my guess is that you're probably correct. Okay.
And then as far as materials to bring with us, I mean, I can bring contact info and then, I mean, Ed, do you have anything about French terrain or anything? If you're
Yeah.
able to make it,
Pull something up.
something up, okay, yeah, I'll give it to them. Alright, I'll bring our contact.
All right. Excellent.
Okay. Good.
Do you have any other updates you want to share with the group?
No, I don't think so.
All right. 8:01. We're adjourned.